here. This moray eel knows her shops well. She rushes to her favourite store every morning. The same with this blue-spotted ray. But they haven't opened yet. It leans on one fin as if to say, it's waiting. Similar problems in a branch further up. These sweet lips are also waiting to be tended to. Here they come, a little late this morning. The small cleaner wrasses are starting to open their shop and are hungry. They're ready to rid their customers of parasites. This ray is also being served. It likes to have its gills cleaned. This is a barter business. One side gets cleaned, the other fed. A very fair deal. Clownfishes seem to be excluded from this business because they can't leave their anemone. In their case, the cleaner fishes make house calls. This snake eel is also otherwise engaged, and the cleaner shrimps are also making house calls for him. Finally, it's the moray's turn. It has a lot of nutritious freeloaders on its skin and in its gills. All of a sudden, the cleaners leave. Why? This Titan triggerfish is no better off. The treatment has stopped before he was finished. The cleaner fishes have new customers, clients that have never come to see them before, and they're now being preferred over old customers. The point is that these new clients will like the service here so much that they will come back again. The regular customers have to be patient and wait until the new clients are finished. Cleaner fishes operate solely according to economic rules. This guy has also come for the first time and quite enjoys their service. Sometimes it's too much of a good thing, though. This small black-spotted puffer just wants to look around and is not asking for a cleaning at this time. It swims away quickly and clearly annoyed. It's time to go back to the regular customers before they get impatient and leave for good. Digging deep where the gills are dirtiest. One last time through the mouth, and it's as good as new, and the teeth squeaky clean. Now this male moray can start looking for a suitable female. She is clearly not interested in male visitors. This next dugout also does not look encouraging. These two have already found each other. A strange pair with a triggerfish as roommate. They seem to get along just fine. It's difficult to cut in as a stranger. It would also be well advised to stay away from this giant triggerfish. This, on the other hand, might be a different situation. It's important to be patient. This female moray does not seem to be too reluctant. She's showing her teeth, which is not a sign of aggression, quite the opposite. She finally agrees to a date. The two of them are getting to know each other. Moray eels are very gentle with their mates. And they're good for another surprise, as partners of a phenomenal hunting party. These types of hunting parties have to find each other first in this big city. The right place for the Moray and her partner. The Morays cooperate with the groupers. It's not so far-fetched. The grouper hunts in the open and the Moray inside the reef. The Moray is able to get in between cracks and crevices that the grouper can't get to. Together, they're a strong team. A grouper that's trying to convince this Moray to hunt with him. The grouper signals this to the Moray by rocking back and forth and shaking for all it's worth. All for nothing. This Moray doesn't understand and stays in its cave. Next try. Maybe the Moray will react this time and swim with him. Again, no luck. Finally, this Moray seems to understand the grouper and is hungry. The grouper tilts its head and the Moray accepts his invitation. Together they swim through the reef. The Moray prefers to swim between the dark alleyways, and the grouper decides it's safer to stay on the main streets around the reef. This is not the right place. The grouper expected to find scared prey here. The Moray takes a break and waits. It's not going to happen this way. Again, another invitation to go. They continue through the reef to another coral head. Also nothing for them here either. The Moray is getting ambitious as well now and initiates a hunt on her own. She might be better at finding hunting spots. They're successful in this next coral head, and then everything happens very quickly. The fishes are panicked, and both hunters are able to profit from that. This coral city offers living space for millions. Many hideouts and crevices provide protection for everybody. My home is my castle. While some escape between sharp corals, others curl up in a ball. Octopuses don't have bones and are therefore able to change shape. Their homes are usually very tight and space-saving. They like to live a bit further apart from their neighbors because they're not necessarily always friends with one another. It might be best to put up a wall of stones between them. The ocean offers many hideouts, which is synonymous with survival for many ocean inhabitants. There can also be hideouts that nature never intended to be there. Such as this giant wreck, 240 feet deep. A research submarine on its way into the deep comes across a sunken freighter. It's an artificial world with countless nooks and crevices to offer protection and a home for many ocean inhabitants. The wreck has long been overgrown with all kinds of sea life. The side of the hull has become a living wall made of corals and sponges. Sunfishes, with their odd form of movement, patrol this area. They're looking for jellyfish. In steerage, where the current is strongest, filter feeders have found a new home, such as these sea fan corals. They feed on the tiny plankton particles. A unit that has grown together made of technical, man-made and organic structures. Even the steel anchor has grown a second skin, made of living beings. It offers these delicate creatures a solid structure to grow on. They have all made a comfortable home in this sunken world. Not even the lights of the stub disturb any of the wreck inhabitants. New life has been created out of the tragedy of this sunken ship, the ingenious, life-renewing cycle of nature. The morays are sharing a home. They seem to be exceptionally friendly towards one another, even with this conger eel as their neighbour. Even the octopus remains unharmed by the morays. A unique environment made of steel that offers many different opportunities for ocean inhabitants to use it. Even this fishing net offers a conger eel a place to hide. The original destination of the sub is located a bit deeper, a picturesque underwater city full of ancient amphora architecture. An antique merchant vessel sank here. Only the clay containers, once filled with Greek wine, are still visible. Now they offer homes and protection to many ocean inhabitants. Similar to the reef, hiding places are essential for staying alive down here. The amphorae have a very special shape. They taper towards the bottom, so they could be stored sitting upright in a layer of sand in the hull of the ship. The amphorae and their precious contents were safe during transport. Spiny lobsters welcome these types of caves. Conger eels also feel safe in this mess of amphorae and shards of clay, as if it was made for them and their slender, long bodies. The city of amphorae on the ocean floor provides countless opportunities to observe, disappear, and be unseen. Maybe that's why this city seems to be very calm and orderly, even when the conger eel swims above everybody's abode. Nobody panics because they only have to withdraw slowly into their homes and are safe. The same goes for this forkbeard. The conger eel's only chance to make prey down here is to hide himself and ambush somebody. The sunfishes also don't have much luck feeding here, for the same reasons as the conger eel. On the other side of the globe, the Spencer Gulf in southern Australia. Every year, hundreds of giant cuttlefishes meet up to mate. The rocky seabed offers great holes and caves to hide the eggs. The females are smaller than the males and seem to be a bit shy, keeping their arms tucked tightly together. The males, on the other hand, present every bit of themselves openly to impress the females, but also other males that are potential rivals. When the going gets tough, it's always a good idea to hide behind the safety of a cloud of ink. Without much success. Escape in reverse. Only the strongest of them have a chance with the females. He's a winner and courts his female by changing his color to interesting stripes. She has agreed to mate with him, and they hug tightly. He deposits his sperm package into her mantle opening. Immediately afterwards, she withdraws into one of the caves on the ocean floor in order to avoid courtship from other males, a clear signal. The male is protecting his female from other rivals. But there's always the unexpected. A so-called sneaker male tries to cut in. This male is much smaller and pretends to be another female by acting like one, very demure and shy. All seems to be fine in the den. He's busy chasing away other rivals from this new supposed female. Especially now that there are two females under his protection. It can't hurt. The two supposed females on the bottom below him are getting closer to each other, the sneaker male and the female. They mate in secret, under the protection of the strong male. As soon as the sneaker male is found out, it gets dangerous for him, but he has achieved what he came for and mated with this female. The beatings are nothing compared to the glory of his success. Intelligent strategies and tricks are essential for survival underwater and part of everyday life. A final dive into the magical world of sharks. This spot on a sandbank close to the Bahama Islands has great attraction for these lemon sharks. They come here by the hundreds, and nobody exactly knows why. This sandy plateau in the middle of the open ocean is easy for scientists to get to. This experiment will show how sharks react to their own reflection. The metal mirror stands upright on the seabed. The animals that swim towards it will see their own reflection coming closer. How will these lemon sharks react? Now the researchers have to have strong nerves. Things stay surprisingly calm. The foreign object is almost ignored, as if it had been there forever. The sharks either swim past it or underneath it. The scientists expected a bit more, and soon the sharks lose all interest in the mirror. Some sharks even calmly drop to the seabed to rest. The only ones alarmed by this behavior are the remoras that like to keep moving. They let go of their shark and see if they can't hitch a ride with a more active individual. Shark hopping. This one isn't a good choice either, so they continue to yet another one. All of a sudden, something happens to the mirror, and the peaceful afternoon on the sandbank changes quickly into the complete opposite. The rope that the mirror is attached to loosens and the mirror falls over.